Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your favorite hosts and realtors, Lauren
and Naya.
And we are so happy that you are back with us for another episode. Let's get right into this week's story.
All right. So this one is called HOA Dreams and Nightmares. A couple was thrilled when they bought their dream home in a beautiful suburban community. It had everything: well-maintained streets, a community pool, and manicured lawns. The Homeowners Association seemed like a small price to pay for living in such a lovely area. But soon after moving in, they started to notice a few things. One morning, one partner of the couple received a notice that her flower pots which were placed on her front porch, violated the HOA's aesthetic guidelines. Then the other partner was warned about parking his truck on the street overnight, something that they had not been informed of before purchasing. Things escalated when the HOA board fined them for painting their front door a color that hadn't been pre-approved, even though many other homes had similar colors. They tried to appeal, but the board was rigid and their interactions became increasingly intense. Eventually, the HOA's rules, fines, and lack of flexibility turned their dream home into a source of frustration and stress. They regretted not reading the HOA's bylaws more closely before buying. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about understanding the true nature of living in an HOA-governed community. Well, I mean, they said it. They learned.
Yeah.
They learned their lesson by not reading. I personally, when I have clients who are getting ready to purchase in an HOA community, when they get those documents, you'll get like the HOA resale or condo association resale package. And it's literally a package of the bylaws, guides, rules, regulations. You might even just get like meeting information. What else? Like their financial standing, their budget and stuff. So like all of that is going to be in this packet. You might get it physically or you might get it digitally. But even I read them and, go through them in addition to advising my clients to as well. You don't want to miss what's in there.
No, because that could change very much like how you maybe live your everyday life. Like if you have like 3 cars and 2 motorcycles and some fun toys, that you're used to playing with on a farm or something. I don't know. Like who doesn't have an HOA? If you come from a place that doesn't have an HOA to a place that does have an HOA and they're like, you can only fit, 2 cars in the driveway and you can't have any cars parking in the street. Now, what about all the cars and all the toys, that you have? Now, what are you going to do with those? Now you got to put them in storage. That costs extra money, or you have to sell them because your HOA is pretty much telling you that you cannot have those items just sitting out. So HOAs can get a little like tit for tat. So they can be like, oh yeah, like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can do this, you can't do that. So you really do, like Naya said, have to read those bylaws before you even buy the house, because it will change like your way of living.
Yep, that's literally the words I was gonna say. It will change like how you live and enjoy your house.
Yeah,
like parking. He couldn't park his truck on the street. Like
that's why I'd be like, wait, we can't park anything on the street here either. Yeah, because we have like, we have the garages, then we have the driveway, and then we do have like overflow parking where you can park, but we want our community to remain looking very clean when you walk in. So there is no parking on the street, especially not overnight. They'll give you like, I'm on the HOA board, so we will give you like, I'm not too pressed about it, but if it's like overnight and it's becoming like a thing, then we're like, okay, here's your warning that you will get towed. And, if you just don't listen, your car will be gone like that next day. Yeah, like there's overflow parking for a reason. So you can park there. But if we knock on your door, and you're telling us, hey, we had to, we had a handicapped person or something, so we just had to get them in the house and then we're going to put the car back. That's different. But if you're just sitting in there overnight, no, you can't do that. Sorry.
I guess parking on the street is... Don't listen to me. I was like, that's not a big deal. Yes, it is. Okay.
I know.
No, that's fair. And then like the financials, that's really important too, because you want to as you're looking at this community and you're like, oh, it's nice, like the lawns are kept well, and whatever. But it's important to know, like, are they increasing fees? What are the fees right now?
Yep.
What does their budget look like for, if there's any like common areas that, do they have like I want to say like a net fund or whatever for like repairs and stuff like that. Like condo associations will do like
a reserve
have
fund.
a reserve for like the building maintenance that's going to happen over time, especially like, for the roof and exterior stuff. So all those things you want to take into account.
Because again, that will change how you're living.
It will change how you're living. Right, exactly. Because if those fees are increasing, that's going to change how you're living.
Yep.
And exactly. And, you have to pay those fees. Like, don't be delinquent.
Don't, because they legit can take your house. Yeah. That's not like, I'm not going to pay HOA fees. No, like they will come and put a lien on your house. Don't
over an HOA fee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you pay it separately from your mortgage. So don't think that it is part of your mortgage payment. So when you are running numbers like with your lender and or your realtor, and you're looking at that cost sheet that your lender gives you, and you see what your monthly mortgage payment is, just make sure that your HOA is included in that monthly. Sometimes it's not. So if it's not included, let's say your mortgage is $2,500, but your condo fee is $300. If it's not included, that you are now paying $2,800 a month and not $2,500, and that could be a huge difference for people.
Yep. And a lot of times when we are, working with our lenders and clients, we are, they will ask, is there an HOA? And when they're giving you a pre-approval, they'll say you can be pre-approved up to this amount without an HOA, and then like XYZ range if there's an HOA, because of course, like, an HOA in this community might be this price and another one will be, a different price. So that will depend. But often your numbers can shift based on, and just your comfort with how much you want to spend will shift if there's an HOA fee as well.
Yeah, because it may increase. So like you said.
And right. So that's the thing. Like, generally your mortgage, of course, taxes can and will go up incrementally over time, but the general, idea is that your mortgage is a payment that stays the same, but your HOA or condo fee, like you should not expect that will stay the same, because it's not. Yeah, I agree.
So we mentioned HOA and condo fee. What's the difference?
Ooh. So, okay, well.
You want to answer?
We can maybe piggyback.
Okay.
But HOA stands for Homeowners Association. And, well, I feel like maybe I am more familiar with condo, and you might be more familiar with HOA.
Okay. Talk about either. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. So HOA. You want to talk about condo?
I think.
Okay. So HOA, like Naya said, is Homeowners Association. It is. Both of them, you are homeowners, but for HOA, the type of ownership is called fee simple, and the type of ownership when it comes to condo is condo ownership. So Naya will talk about condo, but for the HOA and the fee simple ownership, few things are different. You're most likely going to have a smaller HOA payment than you are with a condo. For HOA, you own the entire home. So you own the inside and the outside. You are responsible for the entire house. So your HOA payments are basically, because of that, like while they're lower, is because you are responsible for pretty much everything in your house. And for the most part, I think they pretty much cover like small things like trash, sewer, maybe some may cover water, but most of them don't, not for HOA anyway. So that's pretty much what your HOA payment means. It's the ownership. The ownership is fee simple when it comes to HOA.
Okay. That was a very great breakdown. So for your condo association, like Lauren said, you are in a condo ownership. So this means that you own a unit in a condo building. So every unit has an owner. And so it could be 5, 10, however many units in one building, but each person is only in ownership of their specific unit. And then the condo association, like your fees and things like that, are going to go towards the maintenance of the common areas, if there's any, it could be as small as the common area of like the lobby and the mailboxes, but you know, sometimes there might be a gym or some other kind of space that's like a common area. But outside of that, it will cover the exterior features of the condo building. So like the roof, if there's siding, or, you know, just those kind of literal external building features. That's what the condo fees will go towards, that kind of maintenance. But as the individual owner of your unit, you're responsible for what's inside of your unit.
Yeah, perfect.
So.
Yeah, that was exactly it. So that's the difference. So depending on if you want a house with fee simple, that can mean a townhouse.
Yes,
and in Maryland, some of our townhomes are actually condo associations. So you don't know, it looks like a townhouse on the outside, but it's actually condo ownership, and you don't even realize like, oh, you're not even responsible for the outside of the townhouse, just responsible for the inside. So you just got to pay attention to what the ownership is. Usually you could tell just by the condo fee, especially out here.
Okay.
Because if it's like $300 or more a month, that's most likely a condo fee.
Yep.
If it's $250 a quarter and under, it's most likely a HOA. It just seems to be the trend out here.
And you saying quarter reminds me, like, they may collect payments like differently as well. So like a HOA, I feel like may be more common to be maybe like quarterly. Some of them are monthly or quarterly, but like condo, they want that $300 monthly
every month.
Like there's really not a lot of room there. Like condo, you can expect that that's going to be a monthly fee. HOA, it might be. Some people even got to like biannually, like quarterly, but no, if it's a condo, you can just almost bet your bottom dollar that that's going to be a monthly amount.
Yep, it's going to be more expensive.
And it's probably going to be. I mean, I'm trying to think like where a $300 condo fee even is at this point, because like they are steep.
They are steep.
They are pretty steep, especially in PG County.
Yeah.
So
Anne Arundel, are pretty. I feel like Montgomery County is very high when it comes to condo fees.
PG is high.
Anne Arundel does. PG's high. Anne Arundel and Howard,
they're okay.
They're okay. Yeah. They're like, we're used to it, right? They're average at between $300 and $400 a month, but the other ones are high. Yeah, they're pretty steep. I'm like, So that I want to talk about one more thing when it comes to appearance, and we're talking about. I feel like we've been talking about like some negative things, but positive side of HOA. The reason why HOA is put into place is because we really want to make sure that when you buy a house, that it retains the equity in the house, and it continues to do that. So if you move into an area without an HOA, just be okay with a trailer being in someone's driveway, or someone painting their house a color that you may not be in agreement with, but you did not move into an HOA, which is a controlled environment where you cannot just paint your door a certain color just like they did here, because that will mess up the entire neighborhood. Somebody's driving down to go see a house and they see this pink door, and it's like, wait a second, I don't want to live in a neighborhood that got a pink house, you know what I'm saying, or a pink door, whatever the color is. So I love the positive. I love an HOA, not necessarily because, I want people to, control us, but it keeps things uniform, and it keeps it looking nice, and it really helps to keep the value of our home continue to increase.
I like that you added that like positive note. So there's a reason like that they exist, and people enjoy living in HOA communities. So
some people don't. I just had a military family who was like, they came from Texas, and he had a lot of toys. He has a trailer, he has a bike, like they got a whole thing. Their family has stuff. So they were like, we do not want a HOA. Like wherever we live, we want to make sure there's not a HOA. And we found them a house without that fits all the toys, and they didn't have to go and get storage because, they have 2 young kids, they're married, and they did not want to go and have to pay for storage just because they couldn't fit, their items in a HOA. So not everyone wants to live in a HOA. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I do. Because y'all not about to mess up.
But she's like, for y'all that don't, that's fine. But I do.
Yeah, y'all not about to mess up. I want my equity to stay. Unless I'm like on a house by myself. You know what I mean? Like if there's a house just sitting by myself and there's no other homes like around, that's different, y'all. Like, okay. Yeah, I can do what I want, but no, I want an HOA.
That's fair. So the strictness. So this couple experienced like a real, like they were quick on them over
Yeah.
flower pots, the door, and
How
the
petty.
truck. So like it seemed like they were very rigid, very quick. So you may find different HOAs and communities, like some might be more strict or less strict. It's not really something that you, I guess, essentially will know automatically going into it, unless maybe you I don't know, we're able to get a feel or talk to a neighbor or maybe call somebody in the office, but you're not necessarily going to know that. But like, just know that if you do move into an HOA community, you should expect to like be held to the standards, and like that they are going to enforce it.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
But yeah, I think
Yeah, that's it. That's
That is
everything you
about
need
it.
to know about HOAs and condos. So I can't wait to see what y'all decide.
Yeah.
Hopefully this was helpful. Yeah, don't forget y'all to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Because even though the podcast, we do video obviously, and we post it on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. We also have our website, which will show right after this. But just make sure you guys follow us and come back for the next episode next week.
see you next week. Bye.